Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to continue this series on the Heart of Texas Rally and talk about how to be a little more efficient on and off the bike. Alright, if that interests you, stick around.
Dang, this looks like a cliff. I mean, this is a cliff. All right, I can do it. I can do it. Hang on, let me figure out which way we go. I think we stay, I don't know. Yeah, no big deal.
Okay, so let me set the stage for this video. This would be after you've completed your route, you have it all built, maybe you even sent it to your GPSs and you're ready to go. In this particular rally, the book and all the information was sent to you a couple weeks in advance. So you have a lot of time to prepare for this. So you've gone through everything, you've built a very competitive route, something that fits all your needs, you're happy with it, you're done, right? Maybe, maybe not. So because we have so much time, I worked on this rally every single day. Once I was satisfied with my route, the next thing I did was I made a list of each of the stops in order how I was going to get them. So this is where I was starting, and the rally code was this, and the next one was the rally code was this, the next one was the rally code was this, and so on and so forth. When it comes to the route, I build the route in different segments, one route for each day. The reason I do that, and I'll show you the bike and maybe it'll make a little more sense at that point, but I use two GPSs. The GPS on the right is the whole route involved. So when you build a route from, we'll just say from the start to your first hotel, that GPS on the right is set on that route and it tells me what time I'm going to arrive at the hotel. That's the way I set it up. Sorry. That allows me to see if I'm ahead or behind on my schedule. In this particular rally, we needed to be off the clock in our rest area by 10 p.m. to maximize those points. So I could watch that timer and I set it up for that data to tell me where I was at in relationship to when I needed to be there. Hope that makes sense. The GPS on the left, I went point to point, meaning when I left one bonus, I set it for the next one on my list. Now that list that I made, I had that in two spots. One was in a list in a clear document holder on the leg of my thigh for my arrow stitch. So I don't run a map pouch on the tank bag. I'll show you what I do there. But I have the ability of putting a map pouch on my thigh, and I put my list there. So that allows me to see them. I know which one's next, and so on and so forth. All right. In this particular rally, we had the rally book for 2 weeks, I'll call it. So we had a lot of time to prepare, and I used all of that time. So let me tell you what I did. So you've created your route, you have that all set up, and you're happy with all the elements of your route. My next step was I went to Google Maps, and there's not an easy way to do this, but I went to Google Maps and I entered the lat and longs of each spot, and I went to Street View and I took a look at what I was getting into. Now, because I ride a GSA, I didn't care if it was a dirt road. I didn't care. There are plenty of people rode their Gold Wings and RTs, so it is what it is. Just be comfortable with what you're doing. But I went into Street View and took a look at every one of those bonuses I was going to. I had an idea of what I was going. You're not going to remember when you've got 50 different bonuses. You're not going to remember them all. But when you get there, you say, oh yeah, I kind of do remember this, right? So the next thing I do is I use an iPad. My plan was to not use my cell phone at all. I wanted to use the iPad. I confirmed with the Rally Master that the app he uses for scoring would work on an iPad. I downloaded it, had it all set up, and I used the iPad. So let me explain, and I'll even show you what I did. First thing I did was in order of how I was going to these bonuses. I went to the rally book, I took my iPad, and I took a picture of every single bonus with the verbiage that told you what you needed to do. And I did that in order. So once I was riding, I have a mount that I made and created so my iPad sits on my tank bag, and I will show you this. It sits on my tank bag. I could easily go to my pictures, and I could easily go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and it made it simple. So when I was a couple miles out from the target, I could go to my iPad, I could get a fresh set of eyes on what I was looking for and easily read what I was supposed to do. Does the bike need to be in it? Does just a flag? Do I need to be in it? Let me know exactly what I need to do. That helped me quite a bit. I quickly realized that the iPad's just a little bit too big for me to try to hold it and take a photo. So I ended up using my iPhone for the actual photos. So what I found myself doing was I leave one bonus and I start the next. On my iPad, I go to the next bonus, I look at the picture, understand what I'm going to, then I go to my iPhone and at the part where you select your bonus, scroll down that menu, and I'll show you that. Scroll down that menu, select it, and it populates the photo. I would then close it out. So that part's already done, and I'm not even there yet. There is another little secret that he put in there that he didn't talk a lot about, but he has a link for Google Maps. You could have used that for routing, and I know someone that did, and it worked very well. So I did a bunch of things while the bike was still moving. I was still safe. I was still fine with that. To do that, you need to be able to remove your gloves easy enough. So I've got some climb that have a zipper, and they come on and off really simple. So I was able to zoom in, zoom out, all those things on my iPhone. I can read it, I could do it. It worked very well for me, and it minimized the amount of time I was on and off the bike. The next thing is the flag itself. A lot of people will use some sort of selfie stick, right? And that's very common. I will say I didn't have enough weight on the bottom of my flag to keep it really flying in the wind. So you need to have some sort of weight on the bottom to keep your flag from just sailing off in the wind. The other thing that I do, and a lot of riders do this, depending on the bonus and what I'm doing, if it's night, maybe I got to use the headlights of the bike to illuminate the object. I have a system in my top box that I can clip my rally flag, and I'll show you that. So when it opens up, you can see the rally flag right there. So all I do is get off the bike, orient the headlights at it, open the top box, take my picture, shut the top box, I'm on my way. While I was riding, now that I've already selected the bonus in my iPhone, then I just go down, once I'm back on the road and comfortable, go to my pictures, get the picture, and upload it. I did all that stuff on the move. So I had allocated 2 minutes per stop. Most of them were probably well under 2 minutes. So that helped. So let's go take a look at the rider cockpit and show you kind of what I mean by all this. Okay, top box, easy enough. That has saved me some time. You also want a top box that will stay unlocked, because you don't want to have to take your key and unlock it every time you get in and out of it. And I've set this up so this works for a lot of my stops. And I will show you my selfie stick. So from here, I can just go to my pictures. I can easily see that. I'm running out of battery. I can blow it up. So then you just go to the next one. All right. I can tell you that this saved me a bunch. If you take them in order, now you know which one you need to look for. This GPS is all on the route, and it gives me my time in my hotel. This GPS is going point to point. So when I leave Uni 5 and I'm going to Man 2, on this one, I go into my destination and it goes straight to man 2. So again, so now as I'm riding down the road, this is what I'm looking at, right? When I'm riding down the road, I go to this one, I hit select, and if I'm going to Derek 4, I select that picture. That's what I'm looking for. I can say select that bonus. Now, I can leave that alone and I can just close that out, go back to my music or whatever I'm doing, or I'll go back into that and I can hit the Google Map button and I can hit directions and I can route off that. I don't need any of this. I could route straight off that. I didn't do that, but I know someone that did. So the way you set up your rider cockpit, as I refer to it, can really make a difference in your efficiency. Learn to do all this that you can while you're on the move. And I will tell you, gloves make a big difference. Having gloves that come on and off really easy make a big difference. If you can't get your hand out of your glove, man, it just, some of these work. I know people cut the fingertips out of their gloves. I don't do that. So just have a glove that comes on and off and it'll help out. All right, so the selfie stick is your typical selfie stick, right? It extends way out. Mine actually has some feet, so it's freestanding. And I'm gonna show you where I use that and why I use that. When you have to walk further away, it adds time, but the fact that this will stand up does make a difference for me. I can't lay a flag on the ground. I can't do it. I know people that lay the flag on the ground because it puts it in the picture and it's easily to see. I can't lay a flag on the ground. Sorry. It is what it is. I can't do it. So this works. Now, the picture you take should be a concern of you. You want it to be the right picture. I got in trouble. I got notified that I had some pictures that were blurry. Well, at first I thought, how could they be blurry? I'm using a cell phone that you can't focus, and I blew it off. And then as I'm riding, and I'm like, well, look, man, they're saying it for a reason. So I went into my photos and I realized if you don't have your selfie stick and your flag far enough out and your camera is turned more oriented at the flag, it will focus on that. And I'm going to show you a picture where the flag is super crisp and clear, but the target bonus was blurry. And I did those 2 in a row. So I'll show you what those look like. So on the next bonus, I didn't want that to happen, man. I'm getting toward the end of this ride, so that's where I used my rally flag that stood up. And again, knowing what the target looks like, knowing what I need to do, when I pulled up and I found how I was parking, I knew I was going to stand it up. It was still super quick and super fast because my routine is the same for every bonus. I know where I put my flag. I know how quickly I can get in my top box. I've already selected the bonus in the rally app. I've already done all that part. I take my picture. I spend a second to make sure I got a good picture. Maybe I'll take 2, and then I send it off through while I'm riding. So that's what I do. I'm not saying this is the best system in the world. I'm just saying use the tools you have available to you and be as quick as you can on and off the bike. All right. Hope that helped some of you. Hope you got something out of the video. If you have any more questions or concerns or comments or something, let me know down below. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks. Have a great day. Be safe.